And tonight, we're waiting to learn if two kids shot at a July 4th cookout are expected to be okay. At last check, the 8-year-old girl and 10-year-old boy were still in critical condition. Police say more than 50 shell casings were found on the ground near the Arlington Village strip mall. We also saw a 17-year-old rush to Riley Hospital in serious condition after a shooting this morning just north of downtown. And it's an unfortunate trend that we're seeing. Young Hoosiers caught in the middle of this dangerous and often deadly gun violence. So far this year, we've seen 49 kids under the age of 18 shot in Indianapolis and 8 young lives lost to gun violence. We're going to get into the calls for change from community and city leaders. But first, Lauren Kostick shares a unique perspective on this growing problem.
The violent holiday weekend left many of the city's youth in the middle of gunfire.
Never did I imagine starting my career that I would see a weekend like the weekend that we just experienced.
Dr. Matt Lamon is the trauma medical director at Riley Hospital for Children, saying the number of pediatric gunshot victims has skyrocketed.
To be a pediatric surgeon in this country anymore is really to be confronted with patients who have gun violence related injuries on a weekly basis.
So far this year, the team at Riley has treated 23 patients with gunshot injuries. That's compared to 60 last year, 44 in 2020, and 37 in 2019. And with each patient, it never gets easier.
I think a lot of us, once the dust settles, so to speak, really do take account of what we've just done, and it can be emotional.
And it's an issue happening across the country. Just earlier this year, the CDC made gun-related injuries the leading cause of death for children, leaving medical experts worried about the long-term emotional impact these injuries can leave.
The systems that we have in place, the aftercare is all catching up. You know, we're in many ways recreating adult systems for patients with penetrating trauma in our children's hospitals because it's becoming so commonplace.
A sad reality impacting not just the community, but also the hospitals that serve them.
In the wake of this ongoing gun violence, faith leaders in Indianapolis sent a letter to Governor Holcomb. They're asking him to use this upcoming special session, July 25th, to address gun violence and repeal the permitless carry law that just took effect. It lets people 18 and older carry a gun without a permit.
We don't need more access to guns. We need to ensure that guns are handled responsibly and are in the hands of the right people.
Meanwhile, city leaders like Mayor Hogsett are calling on lawmakers to give local governments more of a say in gun safety measures.
It is incredibly frustrating for a mayor like me or mayors throughout Indianapolis to literally have our hands tied.
So far, we have not seen a response from Governor Holcomb to that letter from local leaders.
And the discussion around gun control is happening across the country, too. In the wake of the Highland Park, Illinois parade shooting, President Biden just signed new legislation a few days ago and already is calling on Congress to do more. But some states are taking matters into their own hands. 7 have raised the legal age for assault rifles to 21.